just what you want to hear. DeepEllumonAir.com. Deep Ellum on Air. Only the best in local music. Do it live! From DFW and beyond. Deep Ellum on Air!
Hey, what's up, what's up? You're listening to the best station ever, Deep Ellum on Air. This is Jedigoddess Presents, and I am Jedigoddess.
No.
We have an awesome show today, so let's get right into it. To my right, co-host and fellow Konnichiwa, Zach.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. Makes you fat, never lasts long enough, always rot your teeth. My mama was a very depressing lady.
And then we have...
I'm not even doing a Forrest Gump impersonation. You can forget that.
And then we have Michael Lagaki.
Michael Lagaki, EP of the show, hanging out in this episode since the maestro's away today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And then, of course.
I'm old school Poindexter, but my name is Adam. Hi.
Hi, Adam.
Nice local hip-hop extraordinaire,
Oh, yeah, that too.
rap genius,
Nerd
Rap god.
rager.
lyricist. Who's that cat over there in the corner?
And this guy over here, the bot of Todd, creating
In the
live
corner.
in the studio.
Todd Bott is a Dallas painter who's really, might I say, has been blowing up over the last year or so.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Doing tons of shows, selling tons of stuff, T-shirts, cool things. So it's good to have you on the show, man.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And as you can see, there's a blank canvas to be filled with bot awesomeness. So we can't wait.
We'll be checking in with him later in the show.
And somewhere in the studio is Jedi Jansen too, running the boards for us.
Hey.
Hey.
hey. Oh, very cool. Well, we're actually going to get right into it because there's a lot of Star Wars news to cover.
We finally have a lot to talk about.
I know. I'm
Excellent.
excited about it. Well, the big one that really jumped off the internets for me was Rian Johnson to be directing Episode 8, and they really want him for 9 as well. And he's going to be penning the script. And if you're not familiar with Rian Johnson, he also did Looper and Brick.
Oh, okay.
Brick
So-
is such a fantastic film.
I didn't see
my
Brick.
God.
Yeah,
Oh man, Brick is
Is that one I have
awesome.
to see?
You have
Yeah.
to
Okay.
see Brick.
Truly.
absolutely.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's a film noir set in a high school in modern day times.
Okay.
It's like a detective story, but all set in a high school.
Somehow I didn't even hear about that. I have
Oh,
to see
it's
this.
No one
It's
heard about it.
independent.
It's completely
It's
off the radar until
independent.
it hits
Oh, really?
DVD, and then it's just blown up like crazy, man.
It's a great.
it's one of those.
It's great.
So-
Total dialogue movie, you know, like
Hell
where
yeah.
like lines just make you, oh my god, that line was great.
Acting.
So Rian Johnson, that was a kind of a stretch.
Yeah, but I think in a good way. I think they're really doing good things with Star Wars, which I'm pretty excited about, because you have Abrams for the first one, but a lot of people, of course, they're like, they don't want it to be basically Star Trek, but that makes sense. They're really I think they're trying to follow the original formula.
Right, and I think this one's going to take such a dark turn that you're going to see some really kind of twists and turns that I don't think we're expecting, that anyone's expecting. I think I'm really excited about it, man. That's a great pick.
Absolutely. Some other news that came out too, and this was from Ain't It Cool News, had some insight on what the plot's going to be for for Episode 7.
Uh-oh.
So yeah.
Rumors.
Okay. Well, this is Ain't It Cool News.
This is what I've been
though.
worried about.
I know. Well, supposedly, and this is very kind of vague, but this is supposed to be, this one focused on Harrison Ford trying to find Luke Skywalker. So by him going down and
I
with
was about to say it
Anklegate.
was going to focus on
Yeah, it
Harrison
was
Ford.
going with Anklegate, which is now Legate, which is now Harrison Ford is back in the U.S. He is off the set recovering. So he's back here in the States. He's no longer there.
Everyone watching this probably knows, but Harrison Ford was injured on the set a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
At first, it was reported as not a serious injury, but now all of a sudden he's flown back to the U.S. to recover. So
Because it started out as his ankle, then it was he broke his ankle, then it was he hurt his leg, and now it's he broke his leg. So it kind of went through the channels of
Yeah.
Mickey-dom.
And
Yeah,
reportedly, the whole cast is just completely livid, saying, "Get this thing safe, or we're not doing it." You
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Andy Serkis, is throwing a fit.
really, I hadn't heard all that.
That's according to ComingSoon.net. So
I didn't see that one either.
He said they were trying to go back to the original formula. Unsafe shooting is the original formula.
that's true.
You know, how many times did that dude almost die in the R2 suit? You know?
But see, he wasn't known then. Now it's a problem. Now.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Millennium Falcon fell on Harrison Ford. So no. So he tried to use the Force. It didn't work out.
So my understanding is now they're rewriting based on him
It's
being out?
potential because Oscar Isaacs, who's of Inside Llewyn Davis fame,
Good actor.
great actor. He was going to be in the film, and what's coming out now is that they're beefing up his role. So that's caused a lot of speculation, insinuating that is he maybe Harrison Ford's or Han Solo's son? Is that why they would beef him up as a character? I mean, people want to know why is he now because of this? What's the connection? So, and of course, that's why it came out that this story is going to focus solely on Harrison Ford or Han Solo trying to find Luke Skywalker. He's the major arc in the film.
Yeah.
So that's why, and of course, they're thinking maybe up to 6 months or more for rehabilitation for Harrison Ford.
Man, that's a shame because Han Solo was always my favorite Harrison
He
Ford
is
role
my
by
favorite.
far.
I
Right.
read the Brian, was it Daily books, Han Solo's Revenge and stuff like that. I read that when I was a kid. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I'm all about
I mean,
that.
Right. I mean, take your time. Take your time. Get it right. Don't worry about the
Can't
recovery.
do it, man. They got that release date locked out years in advance.
Yeah.
Man.
20
Never do that. Never lock down a release date.
Yeah,
man.
as you can see, there's a lot of turmoil being thrown up about because Disney wants to make that release date. They would not have confirmed it. They want to hit it hard, and then again, all the cast because he's principal. He's core to the role of this film.
Well,
So-
that's the new model too, apparently, because Disney's locked down about 90 million release dates between now and 2020 on
I don't know, man.
Marvel films.
If it comes to something creative, I say let it take as long as it takes to make it right. That's why we don't have Half-Life 3 yet, because it ain't done yet.
Nice.
There's still a half-life on that.
How many years have we been waiting for a Doom sequel?
So
Exactly.
But this is to jump into the rumor control mill. So already they're implying that there's going to be a really cool characters like Sith witches has come out, and this is from Latino Review, which Latino Review has actually hit the nail on the head a bunch of times with some of their Star Wars stuff recently, and which I'm excited about.
What is a Sith witch?
Basically, they haven't gotten it detailed into it, but it's supposed to be kind of a coven of witches, I guess, that are Sith that are basically the bad guys. There's not a lot of information on that.
I'm ready for some female badasses.
That's all I'm ready for.
I could see Lupita Nyong'o on a
Hell
set of
yeah.
red contacts and just.
You know,
Is
That
it
was something?
the Night Sisters?
they had maybe, but they have not revealed that. They just said Sith witches to keep it general.
What are the
Imagine
Night
The
Sisters?
Night
that's what I
Sisters
think it is.
they're not technically Sith, they're just dark side practitioners of, but they you can't call them a Sith because it would be like, a Sith is just another order, you know what I mean?
Right, makes sense.
But they're dark side users.
Okay.
Like
So-
Jason Bourne wasn't in the CIA, but it's pretty much the same kind of skill set.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, and again, that's from the extended universe. So I trust Abrams implicitly on this, too. And also, on top of that, there was another rumor, because Abrams did meet with Tom Cruise in London for lunch. So already people are like, oh, Tom Cruise is in Star Wars. Again, Abrams did do Mission Impossible 3, so it could have been two buddies having lunch. Heaven forbid that happened.
Could have been.
But of course, anyone who's meeting with Abrams these days is now potentially in Star Wars. So you go into the grocery store, he's in Star Wars. But
The guy
that,
serve me my Slurpee.
I know.
I also want to say that actually fills me with hope that it could be the Night Sisters, because that happened early on
yeah.
in the EU. So to me, that tells me that they are sticking a little bit with that if they are going with
They
the Night
need
Sisters.
to, because there's some great content in the extended universe that they really need to cover.
And hardcore fans.
And hardcore fans, and Han Solo and Leia had kids. I mean, again, that would play all into the rumors and things like that, too.
Okay, so Jedi Jansen is appealing to you all. Please put in the Sith witches because we want to prove him correct. And
Well, the Rancor Pit, they mentioned it earlier today, where
And that's the show before us.
yeah, where they're changing all this, and they're like, yeah, Jedi, you know all the stuff about the EU, and I'm like, well, that's now useless. I mean, it
Right.
means nothing.
Yeah.
Not that it was very useful before, but
I guess they're going to pick and choose what they like
Yeah.
from it.
all those years of reading for nothing. He sits there crying into his Star Wars sheets. Why? It's all gone. It's all
Wikipedia.
gone.
This is what happens when Disney buys your universe or whatever.
Yeah.
But the bargain price of $4 billion, by the way.
$4 billion. It's going to happen in the comics, too. Everything everybody's been reading in the comics for the last 10 years is going to get wiped away, and they're going to start over when they start publishing them through Marvel.
I hope they pick and choose through a lot of the stuff in those books, because there was a lot of good stuff, but there was a lot of butt pee in those books, too, man. You could tell it was like 14-year-old fanboy kind of, and it would be so cool, oh, man. But some of them were great, but whoa.
Oh man, that's great. And of course, a lot of rumors. Basically, more information's come out that a lot, and this is from Gleason, Domhnall Gleason. I can't say his name right.
Cool
but I know,
name.
Yes, he's Brennan Gleason's son, which is much easier to pronounce. But he came out and said he's trying to get a friend of his who's a model to be in Star Wars. But he revealed that there's a lot of roles that still have not been cast. So already that's good and bad, because their deadline is like not that far away, and majority of the film is not cast except for the principal. There's a lot of roles still needed.
Well, that's good. I mean, they're not talking. Let's stay excited for this. The more news we have, the less excited we're going to get. I'm telling you.
I know. And then now the video we actually did. I kind of want to throw this in there a little bit because I want to show this early. The Guardians and the Star Wars mashup.
Okay.
I'm really excited about this.
I've heard good things. Now, do I have to avoid this video to see new Guardians footage?
No. This is the straight up. This is basically Star Wars if it was done like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
So this is kind of a parody. It's kind of fun. This has been blowing up all over the internet, but this is the Star Wars Guardians mashup. So check it out. I think you guys will love it.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am a Jedi.
Why are you here?
I'm looking for someone.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
Right.
Is your strike team assembled?
My brother. Scoundrel.
And who might you be?
Leia.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
I'll never turn to the dark side.
What? In time, you will call me Master.
I don't think so.
Free! Look at the size of that thing.
There will be a substantial reward for the one who finds the Millennium Falcon. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegration. It's not fair.
Got something jammed in here real good. Were you on a Star Cruiser? What is that?
But these are my friends.
That way.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Disney Star Wars.
Okay.
All right, guys. So
Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, they got me. They got me at the end.
I gotta say that was pretty damn good.
I told you. That couldn't wait on that.
It even had the boom.
No, that was a terrific promo, but I have to wonder how much it speaks to just how promos have been the same for the past like 20 years. That's what gets you excited about it. You know, some Milton Greenberg and all the laugh lines.
I love it.
You know, I know we're going to take a minute here to meet our guests, but you were already talking to me about Guardians a little bit before the show opened.
Dude, I can't wait for Guardians, man. Should I really get into this, or?
Yeah, totally. Go in.
I'm constantly complaining about Hollywood, and they always make the same movie, and they don't take any risks, and blah 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 blah. And then Guardians of the Galaxy came out, or news of it came out, and they're making like a huge budget movie starring the dude from Parks and Rec in a sci-fi action based on a comic book that hardcore comic heads don't care about. You know, and they're putting money behind it like it's Captain America or Superman or something, and just the concrete balls it took for so many suit and ties to sign off on this and say yes, we're gonna put all our money behind this and our future reputation, and it's just amazing. I'm gonna have to see it 3 times, even if it sucks, just to reward them for taking the risk.
You know what cracks me up as a comic head? They've been talking about this movie for a long time. I mean, a long time. And there was like a collective reaction among comic guys of like, why?
Yeah,
you know.
But I guess cool. I guess they're doing the Infinity Gauntlet saga, and you kind of need Guardians of the Galaxy to help set that up, I suppose.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro.
Who's Benicio playing?
The Collector?
Yes, he's with the platinum blonde hair. He was in the Avengers. They had like a little Easter egg for him at the end.
I thought it was at the end of Thor 2.
I'm sorry, you're right. It's Thor 2. It is Thor 2.
Which I loved Thor 2, but that ending scene looked like the worst episode of Power Rangers I'd ever seen. I was like, what is this? I hope Guardians of the Galaxy looks better, but I kind of don't care if it does. You know? Just
See, I love Thor, but the second Thor just kind of lost me.
Yeah.
And then the thing that got me, too, is Anthony Hopkins actually had no role, really, in the second one. He just stood there and he was like grumpy emo.
He phoned it in, man. It was the worst performance I've ever seen from
Emo
Anthony Hopkins.
Odin.
Stand here shouting like gold and pick up a paycheck. Well,
Yeah,
I think...
That's what it was. It was emo
It's the Bill
Odin.
Murray. It's the Bill Murray Garfield method of acting.
Exactly.
Cha-ching! Cha-ching!
Hey, I've got to cut in and say, in a very short period of time, Todd Bott has already laid down a pretty damn cool piece over there. So
Yay!
Is that IG-88?
It is.
Oh, IG-88! Wow! Talk
Dang.
about reaching, man. I love it.
Bot, man. That is badass.
And this is why the show is awesome.
I love it.
Oh, my God. It's beautiful.
So has anybody ever called you Todd Botanist, or is that a new one?
No,
Botnik.
I've gotten.
Let's get Todd a microphone. Can we put a microphone in his hands?
There's one right by you.
I think one time I got Todd Bodicus, but that's about as far as it's ever gone.
So Darth Todd Bodicus.
No Darth in there, but I'll take it.
I like it. I love this, though. Look at that.
Give us the quick rundown, Todd, on what you do, how you earn your living, that kind of stuff.
I am a full-time artist. Been doing it now for maybe about 8 months. I had a full-time job before then, and that was pretty much draining all of my creativity and all my time.
Here.
Yeah.
And so I decided to just bite the bullet and just go for it, either sink or swim. And I'm still here.
Yeah.
I mean, I do murals, I do graphic design, like logos.
I think we got some images of Todd's paintings. Can we throw some up on the screen?
Beautiful murals, too.
Some stuff you just did in Austin, I know.
Yeah, about 2 weekends ago I was down there with a buddy, and we did, I think, about 5 or 7 murals while we were down there at this place called Castle Hill.
Now, when you're on walls, you're on spray cans is what you're using? Okay. And then I know you do a lot of canvas work. You've been doing T-shirts. You've been doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, pretty much anything art-related. Pencil, ink, paint, spray paint. Yeah.
See you at a lot of live shows around town, definitely.
Well, it's the only way that I'm going to let people know that I exist.
And,
make good friends.
Or come on this show.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
Where can if cats are looking to see more Todd Bott work, where can they check you out?
You can check out my website, toddworldart.com, or facebook.com.
That's Todd with 2 Ds.
Todd World Art. Yes.
Todd with 2 Ds.
Yes.
Oh.
And on Instagram under Death Fox.
Okay.
Nice.
Very cool. And that's Todd with 2 Ds, not Todd with double Ds. That's an entirely different...
different website entirely. You
That's a different show.
Hey!
That's a different kind of show. But stick around, kids.
You don't know what you'll hear next on deepellumonair.com.
We'll let you get back to work, but thanks for coming into the studio, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I love it.
And then another special guest today?
Absolutely. Poindexter.
Hi.
Old school Poindexter.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about you, what you do, how awesome you are.
I rap, I play video games, I make beats,
Some fat beats.
I play a lot of Magic the Gathering. I've actually been working on my own card game lately, spending a lot of time on that. It's I won't get into it. It's basically you play like 6 sibling dragons living through the Stone Age till the end of the world, trying to score more points than your siblings before the humans can manage to destroy the planet you're living on.
I played
That's sort of the time limit, you know.
I've played a bit of Magic back in the day, so I'm there with you. I was trying to build. I liked Innistrad. Was my favorite expansion.
Innistrad was a great set.
I love that expansion. That's my favorite.
Yeah, so me and Grimp from Waxtooth, Waxtooth.com, Waxtooth Records. Me and Grimp play a lot of Magic together. It's, Magic and then Beats and then Magic and then Beats.
Magic Beats.
Poindexter has an album out on Waxtooth. Poindexterity, which some brilliant artist did the cover for. I don't know who it was.
He was an amazing man. He's lost to the ages, though. It's a damn shame what happened to that guy.
I heard he was real humble, too.
Hashtag humble brag.
But we've got a video of a real quick video that you put out for that with director Kevin Fleming.
Kevin Fleming, yeah.
Yes.
He just he hit me up one day. He's like, "Hey, let me do a video for you." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Pick one with a lot of words." So I was like, "Do Jake Tales."
I love this song so much, and this video is
actually this is just half of the song. This is just Jake.
Oh, okay, all right.
I love it.
Well, let's go ahead and check it out. Parent advisory.
Yeah, there might be adult
as is
language.
the norm.
God, what the fuck was that? Why you running raps? Getting in and out of trouble, jackass tank running flat. It's a double whack, mug broke, never come with that. Blunted cat, call the Poindexter. Living in a double wide with a fuck guy and his puffed up pride. Slip a mug upside his noggin for talking shit awkward. When he's only wise, are never up high. 3 arms, 7 legs up on a pedestal, shackled in chains, electrodes on testicles. Fetching juice for the memory hole. The big brother knows wherever we go. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap, they dissever the soul. They slip it in cleverly though, like how the guy that shot Robocop's dad on the 70s show. So tell your mom you keep sending me dope. Yo.
Fantastic.
Yes. I love it.
That's a heck of a video, man, and a heck of a song too.
Yeah, that whole album was done. I was listening to a lot of NoFX, and a lot of really just short punk, and I was like, I just need to do an album like that. Just if the verse is only a minute long, I don't feel like writing a hook and expanding it for no damn reason. Let's just say what you got to say and be done. Move on to the next song.
Yeah, I mean,
it was really fun.
If you've not gotten to see Poindexter live, it's great because he runs his show like a Ramones set.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the next one. Go to the no. Go to the next one. I don't want to do that one. Go to the next one. It's awesome.
Actually, if you want a little bit of confession, I've never told this to anybody. That's actually a compensation for a limitation. I cannot find a DJ. 14 years I've been trying to find a full-time DJ, Poindexter and DJ so-and-so. And I'd even go DJ so-and-so and Poindexter. But I just cannot find one. And so the set has to be laid out all on one track in a thumb drive. So I'm basically doing like karaoke style. And rather than trying to remember exactly how many seconds are between this song and that song, I just got to run them straight together, It ended up making it work better, but
it really does. It really does. I mean, speaking from a sound guy's perspective, it takes out a lot of the surprise aspect, but it does make for a tighter set. It's really kind of cool to see when you yourself do it live. It is really fascinating.
It's really fun too.
Absolutely. So if anyone needs to look up your stuff, where can they find you?
You can find me at waxtooth.com, or you can find me at oldschoolpoindexter.com. I'm on Facebook as Old School Poindexter.
Nice.
That's about it. You can't find me anywhere else. I'm a hermit.
The album streams for free on Waxtooth.
And at Old School Poindexter, yes.
Oh, it's a great album. It's a lot of fun to listen to.
You have to have it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff at Waxtooth. Blunt Force just put out an EP on there as well. You've heard that one, right?
I'm mad. I've only listened to that about 500,000.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, that's my shit. So, all right, what do we got next? Boy, we got a full show today.
I know, right? Well, what we do is let's roll into the comic book haul that we did.
Okay.
We actually had a ton of comic books that we went to the store.
Somebody
Titan
into Titan.
Comics.
Oh,
Titan Comics. Thank you, Jeremy.
Not paying us to say it, but they should.
No, we love Jeremy.
And you found something you're in love with
I
over
do.
there, didn't
Okay,
you?
so I love Rat Queens, and I have a picture too, but I'll show you. This is the trade, and it's only $9.99. And the cool part about it is it's a story about 4 basically different types of women who are part of this Rat Queens troupe who use their magic, healing, all kinds of stuff, and they go out and they go on these adventures. It is a straight up adult fantasy comedy. It's like a dark comedy. Like, they pull no punches. I love it. And I read through it and I was laughing the whole time. So
Great artwork.
Artwork's amazing. It's Curtis Weeb and Rock Upchurch.
How long's it been out? What issue is that?
This is the trade, so this is going to have issues 1 through 5 in it. They actually, because it's a smaller comic, they came out with the trade first, and then they started releasing actually the...
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Oh, okay. That's
So
great.
this
That's really
actually
cool.
just got reprinted, I think. They kind of sold out of them for a while.
And that's from Image, right?
Correct, it's from Image.
Beautiful.
And
Loving the Image $9.99 on the first trades thing that they've been doing lately.
Yes, I love that, and it made me pick it up because I bought the first issue. It was around Free Comic Book Day. It was only $1.99 for the first issue 1. So I ended up picking it up, really fell in love with it. And that's when they told me, the trade's only $10. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go and get the trade. But it's definitely worth your time if you like comedy and all kinds of stuff like that, too.
Cool.
Very cool.
So, these girls are awesome.
Oh, the character designs are awesome.
The artwork's
Love it.
amazing. It's amazing. And the thing that's really, the humor in it's very intelligent. That's the thing. They are 4 completely different people, and they're all hilarious in their own way. And they like, it's like a character study. It really is. And so it's intelligent humor, dark humor, and the artwork's great.
Cool.
Very
So,
cool.
That looks really
check
neat.
it out.
Ring endorsement.
Rat Queens?
Rat Queens.
Okay.
And volume 1's called Sass and Sorcery. So, of course, appropriately named. Now, there's a couple more. I actually did not read these yet, but I was pretty excited about them. I'm a big Clive Barker fan. I'm huge. I love Clive Barker. So there's the Nightbreed comics that have come out.
Nice to see Nightbreed back on the shelves again. There were some Nightbreed comics when the movie came out, but there hasn't been anything in a long time.
I know, and the artwork in these, it's and I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but it's Marka Draco and Peter Kowalski. So,
Okay.
all right.
I'll buy
Those
that
dudes.
for $1 shirt.
Those guys.
That's a great pronunciation.
But I know those dudes. Thank you. But as you can see, the artwork's really badass in these, and the story in it. I flipped through it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sit and ingest these. And I ended up watching Nightbreed last night because of it.
Yeah.
Because I was in Danny Elfman's soundtrack of sexualness. I love it. So, I mean, you have Cronenberg, you have Elfman, you have Barker. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm in trouble.
Some people's porn soundtrack sounds like whack, 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 well, and other people sounds like dun 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 dun. dun. So,
And Bruce Campbell walks in, and then we're good.
In a future episode, maybe we'll go in depth on Nightbreed because it's a really
No,
underrated film.
We're going to go into in depth about that. Trust me, especially after read these comics. And then, of course, I haven't read this one yet, but it's called The Wicked and the Divine. It has 2 covers. This was my favorite, and this is brand new. This is also from Image. Nightbreed's from Boom Studios. This is from Image, who also does Saga as well, so you can kind of see similar kind of look.
Image is doing great stuff right now.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be at Image.
now, are both covers on that, or is it just the one and they do and they're doing both covers at the same time?
Yeah, they had 2 covers. They had one cover, which is I like this one better. Personally, I like the artwork on that one, but there's 2 covers for the first issue, and so I don't know too much about this. This was a recommendation, but
From the shop owner.
From Jeremy himself. So he
Okay.
said definitely check it out.
Always listen to your comic book guy.
Yeah.
Find a comic book guy. If you don't have one,
Yeah.
find one, because they're going to point you towards the good stuff. They're going to sit and talk with you and say, hey, you really need to check out this title. If you like this, you'll do this. Support your local comic book shop, man.
Support the good ones. We happen to live in Dallas, and we're lucky. There's a lot of good ones here in Dallas, but that's not always the case. So
Yeah, some of the best titles I've ever found have been walking into the shop and just saying to the guy behind the counter, hey, I like this. What's like it? That's how I found Chew,
Yeah, Chew's cool.
And they don't have my Harley Quinn trade out.
Every week.
Every week I go, Jeremy. No, it's not out.
I know, Miss Harley Quinn not here. I know.
And apparently they're saying it's October now when the trade's due, and I do realize it's only on issue 7, but I still am going to demand it. They did come out with a director's cut of the cover, which is basically Harley Quinn doing a Clockwork Orange pose, which was phenomenal, but no, did not tempt me enough to buy it, but it was only $5.
Harley Quinn has blown up at DC in the New 52. Yeah. It's one of the few books that has kind of like beat its way into the top 20 every month.
Yeah.
Usually those spots are always taken by the same characters every month: X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman. But Harley Quinn has risen to the top of the DC charts.
She needs to, because, and Jeremy made a really interesting point. She's a character, and this has nothing to do with it, because I don't mind about women. Some superheroes need to be sexy, but she's one of those characters who is not overly sexualized. It's her personality. It's so quirky and crazy, and wild, and that's what's selling it, because you don't know what she's going to do next, and that's what I love about her. Also, too, another one, and this is going off of Harley, too, Clive Barker has another one called The Next Testament. I'm waiting for the trade to come out on that one, and that's supposed to be really crazy. And I love Clive Barker. So that's
good to see him on the comic racks as well.
And the Bombshell covers that have been coming out, too, for all the comics.
Yep.
The Catwoman, Zatanna, all of them. Wonder Woman had these really cool Bombshell. Harley Quinn even had one, too, for issue 7. So
good stuff.
I'm holding on for the trade, though. It's very hard. It's very hard, because they're trying to go in there and I'm like, I just want to buy them all. And I haven't read them all on purpose, because, you know. I'll sit there and read the thing really quick and put back. Don't ever do that.
Nice. Don't ever do that.
Don't ever do that.
Nice.
Anyways, but yeah. So comic books are awesome. But speaking of really cool and Clive Barker and all that stuff, I'm going to run over to Zach here with his Why This Film.
Oh, goody.
And
WTF.
Here we go. This is why they've been missing me for the past 3 weeks.
I know. I couldn't wait.
So it's summer. We're out of school, and, you know, it makes me a little nostalgic for the days of going back to, you know, bad cafeteria food and horrible, you know, lessons.
Tater tots.
So, anyway,
I see the Troma logo in the studio.
I decided I wanted to go back and see this one. Jansen, go ahead and roll that. Leave my mic up, please.
Independent art, okay.
Independent art for
30 years of
independent art.
Toxic Adventure.
I mean, that is the fantastic
Welcome to Tromaville High.
joy that is Troma. 30 years of independent stuff,
exception. Man. It's located only 1 mile away from a nuclear power plant.
That's the hook.
They said it
1986.
was 100% safe.
Nuclear paranoia running wild.
But they were wrong.
They were wrong.
There's no danger, Governor. We have the situation well in hand.
That dude's in a lot of Troma films.
Yes. Directed by Lloyd Kaufman himself, this one is everything you wanted
Of Nukem High.
the Breakfast Club to be when the kids came back to school Monday morning.
Strange things are happening.
The plot centers around the goings-on at Tromaville High School.
From a group of clean-cut preppies into a vicious gang of cretins.
Called the Cretins. That's the hook. Waste leaking out contaminates not only the environment but the student body, now terrorized by their former honor society, which has mutated into the Cretins.
Into horrifying mutations. And physical education
I hate it when that happens.
is turned into a nightmare of violence.
That's right.
Wow.
The class of
It's-
Nukem High.
All right, so here's the whole.
Introducing Warren and Chrissy.
I love you.
Two young lovers caught in a world gone mad.
Yeah, they get high at a bikini dance party, and she winds up preggers and picking up a little tadpole into the toilet, which unleashes the monster into the system.
So clearly a family film. is what you're saying.
This is for everyone, you know. You're missing your teenage angst. This is true teenage angst. Look at that angst. Look at that angst. Just
so much angst.
Frighten. And
radiation. So yeah, wonderful acting from the two bad guys from Toxic Avenger.
See the most explosive action of the year.
Violence, drug use, sex, and of course a gratuitous toxic monster from New Jersey, which I know sounds like the origin story for Chris Christie, but still, it's just fantastic.
The class of Nukem High. Rated R.
Oh, it's rated R. I didn't expect that.
I can't see it then.
Now available on VHS.
Blu-ray.
Coming to Blu-ray.
That's right.
All right.
And the transfer is just fantastic because when you want to see your sewer monster coming after you, you want to see it in as bold clarity as possible.
Absolutely.
This is what happens when your parents give you money and just tell you to go rent something. You come out with that.
No, this is what happens when your parents go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night and you wind up staying up until 2 watching Showtime going, what is this? Oh, this is awesome.
Well,
boobs and monsters? Yeah.
When I was a kid, we called that Skinamax. And after 11.
Yeah, well, you know, didn't we all?
Man.
Now we call it True Blood.
Now, is
Yeah, it's not just porn, it's HBO.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Oh, man. Speaking of True Blood, holy cow, I'm catching up on it because, you know, the latest episode dropped for the final season.
The final season.
Yeah.
No.
And they expect us to believe that a main character for the first time ever died off camera.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm like, really? Really? Whatever.
They died off camera.
No, she didn't, but they want us to believe it, even though it's the first character ever to be off camera for... Nah.
No, I know.
Nah, she's not going out, you know, shirt ripped and something southern gory. It's not happening.
Yeah, the collective internet kind of went, nah.
On that one.
Yeah.
Pretty much. No, and that's how it kind of happens with that stuff, though. Yeah. But I'm excited because I really like True Blood just because, well, you know, hey.
I love that. It's the worst show I've ever loved.
Thank you.
And that's why, you know, I do these WTF films because it's the worst films you'll ever love. They're not. Yeah. It's not about making quality stuff. It's about you know what you're getting when you get.
Have you seen Starcrash?
No. Please.
I highly recommend Starcrash.
Please tell me Starcrash.
It's basically a Star Wars ripoff starring a former Bond girl who plays Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Chewbacca.
Cool.
She's got this dude that looks like the greatest American hero with like the big 70s blonde Brady fro.
Beautiful.
And he is also Luke Skywalker and C-3PO. He comes and saves the day with a lightsaber. It's Starcrash. It's awful. You have to see it. It's amazing.
Hold please. Hold please.
We're going to have to locate this.
I found a trailer for it. Hold on. Let me see if Jansen
We're going to send this over because I have to see this for myself because there's nothing more exciting for me than a hero with a Jufro. I'm just saying.
I love it.
Oh, all right. So while we're getting that loaded up, I think we need to throw a little, joy over here. You
mentioned Star Wars. You mentioned Star Wars, and we do have old school Poindexter in the house, so you know what I'm thinking.
Y'all asked me to write the little Star Wars rap, and I tried to keep it as clean as possible.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be great.
Nah.
No.
I'm just gonna do it a cappella.
Do it.
Okay.
1, 2. When I was a kid, I got a Princess Leia action figure. Too young to realize I had a thing for Carrie Fisher. The universe is just in good and the good guys win. I thought it was the type of universe that I'd be living in. Let us begin. I saw Empire at the drive-in with my folks and a couple of friends. Next thing you know, we began to pretend. Pull my hand up my sleeve so it looks like you chopped off my limb. After that, it's your turn to be Luke. I gotta practice that Darth Vader voice. I almost passed out and puked. Hyperventilating in hyperspace, I seen stars streak past me. Like back in class getting my ass beat. Had to keep quiet about that old nerd shit back in the day. Mainstream didn't swing that way. But after countless reiterations and bastardizations, I'm left facing the fact that now they all want to play, and the quality has gone downhill a bit, but fuck it. You traded storylines for pretty pictures and you loved it. The soul has been sucked from sci-fi, but fuck it. As long as there's some titties and explosions, y'all love it. Original ideas never seem to see the light of day. All we get is recycled propaganda from Michael Bay.
All right. Yeah.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
I was just happy it wasn't him.
So I wonder if we'll hear that. Are we going to hear that someday recorded onto a beat?
If I do another verse, yeah. I mean, like all stuff that I write about, it starts to get more and more depressing the longer you go. I should just write 4 bars and be done with it, happy.
One of the first lines you ever wrote, or that I ever really got turned on to on the new album was that line, cold like Wampa tongue stuck froze to R2-D2. That was great.
That was fun.
So it was cool. It's cool to see that, and one of the reasons I like your music is how many different geek references you throw in there and everything like that, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, we love nerds on this show, and the fact is that we've gotten to hear you for so long that we're glad to have you here because
I'm glad to be here. This is awesome.
You do know what you're talking about. I mean, we can argue Optimus Prime for hours and hours and hours whether or not they should have killed him in the movie or not.
Start a conversation about Dwarf Fortress. We'll be here for the rest of it.
Oh boy! Been waiting for the new update for years, man.
Now, Jansen, do you got Starcrash? All right,
Lord.
so we got Starcrash 1979.
1979. Already it's been promising.
All right, so let's check it out, guys.
Arthur from Hitchhiker's Guide?
Into the forest reaches a space and time.
Our galaxy is split into two warring factions. Our own. And the one ruled by the evil Count Zartan.
How do you solve a problem like Maria?
The Count has created a weapon. A weapon so
Captain
vast,
Von Trapp.
so huge, that it would take a whole planet to conceal it.
And it destroys planets, you know, like a star of death or something.
That doesn't look familiar.
This is the opening shot of the movie right here, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
We break for nobody. Oh,
exactly.
2 years after the fact.
Starcrash. Oh yeah, the villain's ship is a big hand. Yeah, there's lots of.
Greetings, Starfighter. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong movie. Oh, now we're in Dune.
Oh yeah, there's a robot.
Now we're in Barbarella.
Oh, no,
Holy
shit.
There's a little gunslinging robot that talks like this, and you hate him.
Work it, girl. There you go.
Harryhausen, watch out.
No, don't kidnap me.
Yeah, the hero never actually does anything in this movie. The blonde guy just shows up and saves the day over and over again.
This looks pretty amazing, actually.
It's incredible. It might be my favorite movie ever.
The Argonauts.
It's Voltron.
No.
Oh yeah, and that guy in the gold mask, I hate to reveal this, but the guy in the gold mask we just saw shooting the I-beams is David Hasselhoff.
Wow.
Yes.
Knight Rider.
And that's right. They are shooting rockets through the windows of the spaceship, and then guys jump out of the rockets.
I'm all about guys jumping out of rockets.
They just broke right through the glass windows on
That's
the
the
spaceship.
broken Trojan that you just never want to see.
They're all coming out.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you gotta see this
The
movie.
New World Pictures, nonetheless.
Starcrash, 1979.
Only like the second greatest studio next to Canon, man.
Yeah, my lady April is really into cheesy 80s, late 70s movies, and
I
she
respect
found that
this.
one a couple weeks ago.
Oh, she and I ought to get together and go bowling.
Like I said.
So I've got to say, while we were watching that trailer, I'm getting texts from L.A. Our buddy Joey O'Brien, who's a screenwriter out in L.A.
Hi, Joey.
Is texting me like, "Don't mess with Starcrash."
He was messing. We were worshiping at the foot, dude.
I love it.
We're gonna have to get Joey on the line sometime for an episode. He just wrote. He just was on the writing team for Lupin the Third, a movie that's gonna come out based on the popular anime.
Yes.
They're doing a Lupin the Third movie?
Yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah. There's a trailer out on YouTube. I'll send you a link to it.
Okay.
And my buddy was on the writing crew. So what's up, Joey? Happy
What's
birthday
up,
this
Joey?
week. Yo.
Happy birthday, Joey.
Well, man, this is a great episode.
I love it. Oh, let's check in on Todd over here. He's got some vernacular happening
That was a lot more
up here.
detail work on that.
Wow.
Oh,
Break a leg, hon. I love it.
Oh.
Todd, that is a classic IG-88 painting. Can I just say that?
That is
very nice. Very nice,
tremendous.
sir.
That's great. I love it. So I wanted to do, because we have a little time here, I was looking at theaters because recently, last couple weekends, we were like, let's go see a movie, right? And we go looking at the movie. This summer, the height of supposed to be what's decent and worth your time in theaters. Mm-hmm. And there really isn't nothing. Like right now I'm looking at, okay, of course, Transformers, Age of Extinction. And I'm thinking, why?
Michael Blaze Bloom.
Oh, I know why. This is a bad reason.
Transformers 4, the search for even more money.
It's called Marky Mark. Yo, that's a transformer.
I think we found a transformer.
I mean,
and he's supposed to be from Texas. That's the great thing.
say hi to your mother for me. You know, and it's just like, okay, I saw that. I'm like, I'm done. And the sweeping Michael Bay shots of him like opening the barn door. Okay, it's like, all right.
Weak summer so far, though, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it makes me want to have Megan Fox back. Come on now.
Oh, my God. Well, you're getting her turtles.
Well, I actually liked her. We'll see. Well, I'll give it up. They just have noses. I have an issue with the turtles and the noses.
I do, too.
Yeah, ditto.
I have a real problem with that, actually.
So, another film, How to Train Your Dragon 2. Okay, so that's probably going to be one of the better ones in theaters.
It's supposed to be amazing, but I heard it's flopping like hard.
Is it?
Yeah, I heard it was doing awful, despite being an amazing film.
I heard that too, but again, that's kind of like the kids. But Maleficent is still rocking because honestly, that's probably the only decent movie in theaters right now. Maleficent actually.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow was pretty good.
No, Edge of Tomorrow. Okay, I haven't gotten to that one yet, but Edge of Tomorrow was great. Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
That's awesome. The Power Armor movie where he dies all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically Groundhog Day meets Starship Troopers.
Yeah. Right.
It's actually good. It's good. Everyone that's seen it pretty much likes it. Even
I gave it a thumbs up.
Even if you don't like Tom Cruise, they like that one. I liked Maleficent. 22 Jump Street. Oh, man, really? Really? I saw the first one, and at the very end, you know what I mean? There's a couple cameos, and I'm like, really? Like, this wasn't there. Think Like a Man 2, we're just going to breeze past that.
Yeah.
Godzilla, which pretty much everyone's universally panned on that one, which I agree.
Oh, I've heard mixed reactions.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people that I've heard from were basically like, it took too long for Godzilla to come on the screen.
It's every Godzilla movie.
Pretty much. And then how they played out the characters.
Look,
it's
we can't start dissing Godzilla movies or Joey's going to blow up my phone.
No,
way more.
the thing is, I love Godzilla very much. And I love Rodan, Mothra, all of this. So that's why I take it to heart.
People complain about all the Godzilla movies about there's too many people and talking and stuff. And I'm like, well, Godzilla doesn't talk. You know, you can't do an hour and a half silent movie, just third person following a lizard around. You know, there has to be. I mean, it'd be kind of awesome.
Sad Godzilla. Sad Godzilla.
It worked when Pacific Rim. I mean, you just got to it. You started out with a monster fight and you kept on going, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so excited to hear Pacific Rim 2 is on the way.
Oh yeah.
Yellow.
I liked Pacific Rim. I thought Pacific Rim should have been basically it was Godzilla. The Godzilla I wanted was Pacific Rim. That's what I got a lot from that. Of course, Edge of Tomorrow's worth seen, and then Days of Future Past was really good for X-Men.
Yeah, not bad
I
at
thought
all.
that was great. Jersey Boys is in theater. I know that's Michael's favorite right now. So,
I really like Clint Eastwood.
I always took you for a Frankie Valli fan. You know.
Frankie Valli was cool. But I don't know if I want to go see it in a movie.
I love Christopher Walken, so I'll pretty much see anything with him in it. And of course, the the movie that I completely dissed, I refuse to see, is The Fault in Our Stars, which is the I'm Dying, Love Me movie.
Oh. Preteens with cancer.
Basically, a walk to remember a couple of years later. So that's not my kind of thing. But ultimately, I mean, I guess X-Men, Edge of Tomorrow, and Maleficent is what we're looking at. But even then, that's still kind of like I'm used to seeing at least 4 or 5 really strong box office things. What do you think, Todd? Do you have any opinion?
Have you been to the movies lately?
Yeah.
I went and saw Edge of Tomorrow the other day, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not really that big of a Tom Cruise fan, but like you said, like even people that aren't fans enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, and you hit it on the head with the Groundhog Day meets Starship.
That's what it is. I was like, I've seen this.
So is it that we've just been marketed to death? The mistake that we made with Million Ways to Die is that everything good was in the promo, and I think it's just starting to be like every film that's out there now. If you see the commercial, you've seen the movie.
You've got to avoid it. If there's something you really want to see, you just avoid. I have run from theaters to avoid seeing Planet of the Apes trailers because I want to see that damn movie.
Well, it literally is shoved down your throat. Trailers, and like even with Hercules.
Oh, I thought that was the worst trailer because
Hercules?
The Hercules movie with the Rock or whatever.
The Rock.
It looks to me like, between the footage and stuff, they have something that could be hot on their hands, but boy, does that trailer give away everything. It just kept going and going and going, and I was like, don't they understand they kind of like sold it in the first 30 seconds of this trailer?
Well, there's movies that give everything away in the trailer, and then there's movies that kind of use the trailer to make you think you're going to see a different movie. Have you noticed that? Like Reign of Fire was the first one I ever noticed that did that. The trailers and the commercials all made it look like this is a movie about dragons taking over the Earth. And then you sat down in the theater, and it was a movie where dragons had already taken over the Earth 20, 30 years ago, and now the humans are trying to get it back. And I'm like, oh, so there's not going to be any big helicopter versus dragon scenes? No, like you showed in the previews? No, okay. It was weird, and I've noticed that a few more times since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the marketing departments have basically taken over, and maybe that's the hard part with Disney now buying 3/4 of your childhood, is the fact that because they're locking on to release dates so they can get it in the theaters and get the funding around them. It just feels like as though we're getting robbed because marketing departments are taking over where creative people should be working.
Yes, amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's like, at least I'll give Disney this. Disney really tries to appreciate the fan base because they know money. They're not stupid, so they try to
they
really
appreciate money. I don't know if they appreciate the fan base, but they appreciate how much money action figures and toys bring in.
Correct, but what I was getting at is it's like a double-edged sword. It is money-driven, but they know the fuel comes from the fan base, so they try to speak to that. And I'll give them that, but they do mass market like insane, like especially even in Japan and stuff, like Nightmare Before Christmas. You could barely get it over here, but in Japan it was everywhere.
Really?
But over here, anytime any kind of Jack Skellington figure, because I used to collect Nightmare for Christmas action figures forever. Whenever they came over here, they were like $50-$60 a pop. But over there, you give for $5 or $10 in every corner. You would get them. It's heavily marketed over there.
Well, talking about Disney and particularly buying the Marvel movies, I think Marvel in particular, we already talked about Guardians. A few weeks ago we talked about Cap 2, which was a pretty dang good movie.
That's an amazing movie.
They're getting better. They're getting better at making these superhero movies.
And that's a sequel too, so that speaks very highly.
Right, but when you're able to step aside and trust your creative process rather than having your marketing department make your movie for you, you have to basically let those creative processes, and that's what's going to shine through. Because you have such an original property with Captain America that has so much history behind it that you've got so much to draw from with the right filmmaker.
Yeah, but I mean, they did really good. They made me like Captain America more than I liked him from the comics, to be honest. I mean, I've been reading Marvels for years, and that's probably my favorite Cap story.
So. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But that's one of the reasons why, when I do the WTF, I like stuff that comes from Troma, that comes from, Magnet, studio houses and film companies that, trust their filmmakers and trust creativity rather than trusting dollars and cents. Because if you market a Troma film right, I'm going to go see it. Yeah. I'm going to go buy, Romeo and Juliet. I'm going to pay my money for Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah, as an artist, I'd much rather put out something that I'm happy with that everyone hates than something that makes $1 billion, but I'm just kind of embarrassed to perform.
Right, because you trust your creative process, you know what you like, and you want to hear what you want to hear, and that's really what it should be with art, man.
Yeah, and that's what makes you unique, too. I mean, if we all wanted to be Miley Cyrus or fit a mold, basically, then, the world would be boring, I think. But the fact is, you hone that own creativity and that uniqueness, and it's not for everyone. Quirkiness is not for everyone. I love it.
Most definitely not, and
I think that's what makes it awesome.
And it makes you feel like you're kind of sitting at the cool kids table or the uncool kids table when you have like the little insight, like you've got to see this movie. You've got to see this movie. And like, why? And like Starcrash, I would have never known that. And that's awesome. Now I want to see that movie. I got to find that thing.
Hey, let me ask this. We talked about summer. Other than Guardians, is there anything else coming out this summer that we're all excited about?
Yeah, that's what I was looking up, too. I mean, I'm pretty excited about Guardians.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. Planet of the Apes. Yeah, obviously. Planet of the Apes. Guardians doesn't come out until August, but those are probably the biggest, like, kind of sci-fi action films that I'm into. There's a couple decent ones, but...
Well, in this day and age, why are we getting a weak summer? I don't even get it.
That's my thing. There's nothing I'm completely crazy about.
We're pulling up Flickster here. Let's see. We got Donald Planet of the Apes. Ooh, the new Purge.
No.
Yeah, no. See,
how How about sex tape with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel?
Hell no.
Playing the plot over and over again.
Okay, I did see the other woman, and this is talking to probably a particular audience out there, but the other woman with Cameron Diaz and Leslie Mann was actually really funny. But again, that doesn't mean I need to see 8 Cameron Diaz, same story, same kind of dialogue kind of films.
Right.
It's like that Mom's Night Out. That was horrendous, the trailer for that. That was horrible. I mean, they try to take the same thing and be like, we're making it women now. But
Guardians is on the way. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in August.
Turtles.
You're a no on that? You guys are no's?
Yeah.
No. Nose on the nose.
No.
Nose on the nose.
Nose on the nose.
Like, even if everybody I met said it was the best movie they ever seen, I just can't put money in that man's pocket. I just can't. If it's an amazing movie, I'll illegally download it and watch it for free. But I'm not putting a dime in that man's pocket. I'm sorry. People complain about movies and then shell out $15 to see the kind of movies they hate. And I'm like, it's your fault they keep making these because you keep shoveling money at it. You know?
Right. And you have, Expendables 3 coming out on August 15th and Sin City.
Still no He-Man.
Sin City. Now,
A Name to Kill For.
See, I think what happened is that the studios have put so much money into the big budget blockbusters, and they're all failing. Mm-hmm. What they're seeing the money coming from is little stuff like 12 Years a Slave. They're seeing the money coming in from anything David O. Russell does. Neighbors.
I was surprised. I looked up the grosses on Neighbors. That movie is going to end up being one of the most successful movies of the year because it had an $18 million budget, and it's going to come in at $150.
But
Wow.
Yeah. Neighbors,
that Seth Rogen movie.
Right, and it's hot off This Is the End, too.
Let's not forget 50 Shades of Grey.
No, let's forget 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
3 of them.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. I heard about that. The blonde underwear-looking model guy from True Blood left True Blood to go do that movie.
Yeah.
And
it was
because he didn't
originally
want
going
to
to be the cat from Sons of Anarchy, but he dumped off of it.
Charlie Hunnam, he stepped out. They actually have 2 pretty much completely unknowns. And then Jurassic World.
Dude, is that the one with
yeah,
friggin'
D'Onofrio?
D'Onofrio?
He's going to play in it. Vincent D'Onofrio's in that one.
No, I was thinking, God, what's that guy's name? The Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe.
Boondocks.
Willem Dafoe.
Dafoe. Isn't he in that? He's like hunting a raptor or something?
No, they have Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, who is Ron Howard's daughter.
Chris Pratt's in it?
Yes.
That's all the way in 2015.
Vincent D'Onofrio, guess who's in it? B.D. Wong's back.
That's next year?
That's all the way in 2015.
Yeah, 2015. So. But look at it this way. I have to go that far back to find something that's remotely interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think basically you're going to see the studios putting their money behind Oscar bait. That's pretty much it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's only the end of June, though. Where the hell are my summer movies?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're going to put their money behind Dawn and Planet of the Apes and Sin City.
Yeah.
And I'll take that because I'd rather go see Sin City.
I'm all over Sin City.
Now we only have a couple minutes left, but I wanted to play this video. This is actually behind the scenes of how they created Empire Strikes Back. So this is specifically, what is it, Joe Johnston? And this is just, I want to leave the mics on, but this kind of shows you the effort that goes into creating the scene that they did.
I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, check it out. And this is Super 8 animation footage.
Yeah.
And this is from 1979.
Which, by the way, something we didn't talk about is the new George Lucas movie new George Lucas museum that's going to be opening in Chicago.
That's right.
So you're going to get to see a lot of this model stuff, I think, out there.
Is this the actual stop motion process we're watching here? This is the AT-ATs walking by? Crazy.
And this is how much work to film a couple-minute scene. They have to do so many progressions per minute, basically.
Oh, this looks like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
This is like a step.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is, and a lot of people forget this kind of stuff too. And then to talk about the George Lucas Museum, he's not only going to have Star Wars and movie stuff, but he's got Maxfield Parrish, who's one of my favorite artists of all time. Norman Rockwell. I mean, he has paintings from some of the greatest masters. This is his private collection that he's put on display.
So this is going to be a freestanding, new-built museum, is the idea?
Correct. It's in Chicago. Originally, it was going to be in California, but it's definitely in Chicago, and I want to see it.
Huh. Okay.
And again, he's going to have stuff from all kinds of movies. He's got stuff from Fritz Lang's movies. I mean, he's got, which is incredible.
Can I get these AT-AT toys? I want these actual models.
Absolutely, I'll make a phone call.
So
Nice.
They probably auction stuff like that off, like Bruce Lee's jumpsuit and all. It probably goes for insane amounts of money.
But look at this. I mean, you know, minutes gone by already, and
I can't detect any
you
movement.
can't detect any. This is how much work. You got like 3 guys doing this. And you have to think of when the film originally came out, not like the special edition, but it was still very fluid.
Right, super practical effects, and that's the thing that Lucasfilm was always on the cutting edge of, was doing this kind of stuff.
Even Jim Henson too, all of that.
Jim Henson.
This is incredible.
Yeah, this is cool. This is cool.
And just to remind you that, you know, the same kind of work goes into making an episode of Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Except it's done by Koreans.
Yeah. No, actually, Robot Chicken's made here in the States.
Is it? Really?
It's done. Yeah, it's done here in the States. Like,
wow.
There was a thing on Will Wheaton Project where they went behind the scenes and showed, you know, them doing the process. It's actually really cool. Which, if you haven't checked out Will Wheaton Project, it's actually really dope.
Let's do it. Awesome. So that's pretty much our show, but I want to go check back in with Todd and stuff, too,
The dude
really
in the
quick.
back there looks like Mark Hamill.
He does.
That's weird.
He might be Mark Hamill because, you know, times are tough. You know, you got to multitask. But
But he wasn't bringing in that Corvette Summer movie?
no.
Corvette Summer movie?
American Graffiti wasn't paying off like it should at the time.
Hey, Joey texted me with another summer movie we should all be excited about. He said Snowpiercer is something to
Okay,
look
so
for.
I had a screener to see that.
I've heard of that.
I couldn't make it, though, because I don't get off work till 7. But I wanted to see that. That looked really good.
Yeah, we all have day jobs. We're not getting rich making off this. But hey,
We would love you.
If you'd like to make us rich doing this,
if you like
please
to,
feel
if you
free-
like to sponsor
please feel free to
Jedigoddess.
send money.
We love it. But let's check back in with Todd Bott and Snowpiercer. Looked really good too. So Todd, let's look at your piece here. Break a leg, Han. That's
Great,
beautiful.
awesome.
Fantastic.
That is
Awesome.
that. So again, is this piece for sale? I mean, how do you want to?
Sure.
How much did you sell for it? Tell them out there.
Oh God, I don't know.
If we got a bunch of people in the chat thing, we can just auction it.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Starting bid. Come on, someone put it out there.
That's a great piece, Todd. I always loved your line work, man.
It's badass.
Yeah, you almost come from an illustrator perspective with your line work, it seems
That's
like.
true. I do.
Did you grow up on comics? Did everyone in this room grow up on comics?
Yay!
I didn't really discover comics till I was about 12.
Oh, yeah, that counts.
Okay, well then,
That
yeah.
totally counts.
I remember you and me talking about Walt Simonson once and those
Yeah.
Thor issues.
I grew up
love
on
it.
professional wrestling. Does that count?
Mick Foley is God.
Thank you.
Oh
There's an illustration involved. Well, thank you so much, Todd, for being on the show today.
Yeah.
Yay!
Woo! Old school Poindexter for throwing his back down. Woo! Star Wars.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Lagaki for standing in for the Mr. Moore.
Stand
Can
in.
meet you all.
Baby.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're awesome. And thank you for Jedi Jansen for being amazing. Check out Jedigoddess on Facebook, facebook.com/Jedigoddess Christy. That's Christ with a Y. Also, deepellumonair.com/Jedigoddess. Best place ever. Love you guys.
May the force be with you and not upon you.
Ooh.
Good night, Bryce.
Always upon you. Always upon you.
Love you.